Hi everyone! I realized that I missed coloring in books by Jade Gedeon. So for today's video I selected Thailand Escape, and for some time I wanted to color a picture with a bird, but you know that I prefer to color realistic. So after a short research I discovered that this beautiful bird is a national bird of Thailand. Together with elephant, they are like national emblems, and the name of this beauty is Siamese fireback. It's a variety of pheasant, and it also has another names like fireback lophora or dired fireback, and the last name was given due to the French ornithologist, and this name was invented by the nephew of Napoleon Bonaparte. So a lot of interesting things, apart from the very beautiful look of this bird. The distinguished trait is that they have a bright red spot around their eye and also on their back. And male birds also have a yellow spot on their back, so that's why they are called fireback. When I realized that bird itself is quite bright, I decided that I need quite simple background, so I colored the background with raw sienna diluted with water, and as I imagined that maybe it's an ornament carved in stone or carved in wood, so different parts of the ornament will catch light in different way. So I tried to vary amount of water, so intensity of the color, and for some parts I added a little bit of dark brown. As usual, mostly I use my set of White Nights watercolors, but I also added couple of Daniel Smith watercolors. But I think that the key to the successful result of this coloring were my brushes. Apart from my traditional watercolor brushes with thin tips, I also used my filbert grainer brushes, and you will see on the later steps that those brushes really helped me to create the effect of feathers. When I finished to color background ornaments, I decided that I want to create some kind of shadow behind the bird, and maybe that wasn't the wisest decision. I don't think that for the end result it looked really good. Maybe because I decided to use diluted Payne's gray, and when I hadn't started to color bird, this shadow made with very light paint gray looked not bad. But then when I started to color bird and I realized that the same colors like dark blue, black and dark green I also will be using for the bird, in the end shadow looked like paint simply has flown out of the borders, so maybe I needed to select brown color for the shadow. The bird is mostly black, but you can easily see glimpses and highlights of blue, violet or green for the feathers. And that's how I decided to start. You know that with watercolors we start to work from the lightest areas and gradually increasing intensity and darkness of colors. So first I applied very diluted violet, very diluted blue and even green to the areas where feathers will have those highlights. And then I used more dark colors like indigo blue, like Payne's gray to indicate darker areas. Also I used two of Daniel Smith watercolors, and they are phthalo turquoise, which is beautiful dark green. It's quite similar to Viridian, which is available in many sets. And also I used lunar blue, amazing color, a little bit similar to indigo, so if you don't have them you still will be able to color the similar result, but I had a lot of fun playing with these two beautiful watercolors. I tried to vary the size and the strokes when I did feathers. Some I colored with a lot of details and some areas I just covered with color, and I think that in this way it's look more artistic and more beautiful. Also, I had a lot of fun coloring the bright areas on her wing, around her eye and her legs with bordeaux and red colors. I tried to be quite patient and I worked in layers. I applied washes and I let one layer dry completely, and only after that I applied darker colors, and in this way I think that I was that's why I was able to do a proper feathers. When I applied all washes of the colors, I decided to switch from the regular brush to the filbert grainer, and it's a very interesting brush. Grainer brushes specially designed for drawing fur, grass or feathers, and they were really helpful. I used two sizes of them for the smaller and bigger areas. I am quite proud of myself that I managed not to use any additional pencils. Everything is colored only with watercolors, and that I didn't use any white paint. So if I needed some highlights, I had to think about from the beginning and just to leave uncolored area. It was a very nice experience, and it's as usual is a real joy to work on this paper. I hope that it was interesting, and I don't know, I hadn't indicated for you colors, but I think that they are pretty easy to detect. They are indigo, phthalo blue or emerald green, whatever you have in your sets, very diluted violet, very diluted blue, and for the darker areas I used Payne's gray, indigo blue, and I added a little bit of brown into those colors for the intensity, and for the red areas I used carmine, claret, and a little bit of orange into it to get a variety of colors on the feathers. And also it was quite quick coloring, and I think that I definitely have to color more birds with watercolors. It's a perfect technique for creating this variety of colors on the feathers. I thank you for watching, and until the next watercoloring tutorial. I think that I really missed my watercolors.